Jingle jangle.
Hey guys!
You guys, look alive. It's Jessica
Hey
Honegger.
everyone! I just had to switch my bracelets to the next arm so y'all can see them.
We're all about optics.
Yeah,
And
we're about jewelry is what we're about.
if you don't show off your jewelry, are you really the CEO of Noonday?
No, I'm not. That's
so just
accurate.
in case you don't know, this is my longtime girlfriend, Jessica Honegger, and she is the founder and the CEO of Noonday Collection. You're just a boss lady. And what's been so funny is we've been here getting ready for this video, and Jess just kind of comes in with her major alpha energy. So everything's like, I think this needs to be tilted, and I think we need to warm up the light a little.
If it were up to me, you guys would not be seeing that there's a TV in the background, but that's okay. That's okay, because we're keeping it real.
Let the record show we tried to appease
We
Jess.
did.
I kept getting my body in front of it, and I just. But anyway,
yeah.
it's fine,
Guys,
Jess.
TVs are not pretty in live videos.
Life is not perfect.
It's okay. We're good.
Thanks for being here today.
Y'all, we are launching
Me courses.
the Me course. Are we so excited? Okay.
Yeah.
Hatmaker, listen. Last summer, I get a little nervous when I do this for Jen. I've interviewed her a handful of times over the years. This is what I get nervous about.
What?
We know each other in real life.
Yes.
And we share
Deeply.
a lot.
Deeply.
And sometimes I don't remember what are the private details.
Oh. Yeah.
And what are the, I know this because of Instagram, not because of a text message, so.
That's really
I'm a
this
little
matters
nervous.
because you are in possession of quite a few private details.
I am, and I'm a
So-
little nervous right now, so it's gonna be okay, but Maine, last summer, how many of you guys followed Jen last summer in Maine? I have to tell you, first of all, I thought that you were like a walking billboard for Maine.
I really was.
Since then, I'm now planning a family trip to Maine.
It's true, Jess. By the end, I was like, am I the mayor now?
You were the mayor.
I think I'm
Jen
the
was the mayor of Maine.
Bar Harbor.
Of Bar Harbor.
Of
She
all
was
of
the governor
Maine.
of Maine. She was the mayor of Bar Harbor.
I
It
really
was stunning and amazing, and I was so freaking proud of you. I mean, guys, give Jen. How many of you guys did she just inspire last summer to just focus on me? And how many of us have wanted Jen Hatmaker to be our camp counselor? So you're taking us to camp. You're taking us to Me Camp. Tell us about the Me Camps.
The reason that Jess is talking about that is because Me Camp last summer, for this, some people aren't here like, what are they talking about?
Right, catch them up.
I went to Maine for almost a month, mostly by myself last summer. Remy was in camp, and it had been the end of a real bad year. And I was just like, I'm up and doing this. And it's funny because Remy was at camp in Maine, which is why I chose Maine. And so I didn't plan on calling it Me Camp, but I was literally on my phone doing something, and on the spot I was like, I'm at camp. I am at camp right now, and I branded it in the real time. I'm like, I'm at Me Camp, you guys. And then thus Me Camp was born, and it became this whole thing in our community. And so inspired by this whole idea. I mean, what an absurd thing to do, to go somewhere for a month by yourself.
Yeah.
It's out there.
And this is the thing, and you guys know this, and you've been super open about how much you've had to learn post-divorce.
Yeah, that's right.
And truly, it's inspired me. And specifically, I know the post that you wrote about, here are the basic financial things you need to know.
Yeah.
All of you, married, not married.
Yeah.
And you have been on the most intense, beautiful growth curve over the last year and a half. And the fact that you now want to bring people along into that growth is so inspiring, so encouraging.
Thank you.
So tell us about what are some of the things that you're going to be teaching us and guiding us on.
That's what we're doing here. So we came back and we were like, what would it look like? Because I kind of learned everything messy and in real time, over months, and even really truthfully over the course of a year plus. And it was just a mad grab, just a scramble. And I'm like, what would it look like if I took the three areas which I have experienced the most personal transformation and growth post-divorce, and literally distilled down everything I learned from my teachers, my mentors, my leaders, the professionals who came alongside of me, my role models, and just condensed it. I mean, shoved it in, condensed it into one package deal for my community. And so the Me Course series was born. And so we've got 3 areas. So these were the 3 areas that for me, I had the most overhaul.
Yeah.
The first one was simplicity.
Simplicity.
So
break that down for us.
Yeah.
I mean, because we're thinking, when we hear you talk about simplicity, we are thinking immediately of 7.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so here was the deal for me. I think I'm just wanting my community to be better prepared than I was when it comes to any kind of crisis, because you may not even be married, or maybe you're not divorced, but there's health crisis, there's financial crisis, we can have job crisis. We're literally in a crisis right now. And in so many ways, I was just ill prepared. I was behind the curve on some areas where I felt like I should know this by now. Or I should have more of these tools in hand, and I didn't. And so we're like, what? So simplicity was one of them, because I felt so cluttered, not just in my house, but in my brain, that I couldn't get a clear thought.
Yeah.
So simplicity is one course, and we're going to walk you through. We're going to actually start with some physical simplicity, like where you live. Are you like this, like messy house, messy mind? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean. And gosh, in order for me to even almost be in that place of presence and peace, I have to clean my space first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or tidy it up.
Tidy up or declutter it.
Yeah,
or
declutter
just
is
get
the main thing.
rid of the garbage. So there's this idea of like, why don't you create an environment in which you can like mentally thrive? Let's start there. And then we moved into like head clutter. And so it's incredible. Y'all, for all 3 courses, I brought in experts. So like people for whom this is their work, this is their best deal. They have been mentors to me for like years and years and years. And so they join me on these Me Course series for one of the sessions.
And I'm super excited because aren't you having McQuaylan?
Yeah. Michaelyn Smith and Emily P. Freeman, they're real life sisters. Yeah. And they are my 2 experts in the Simplicity course.
Yes.
Michaelyn kind of focusing on home and space, and Emily like on mental clutter.
Yeah.
And so that for me was a major overhaul. You will not believe how packed that course is. Everything's practical too, by the way. This is all super, super usable information. It's nothing but the facts, ma'am. I'm not fluffing it up with like a bunch of garbage. You don't have time. Like you don't have time.
Yeah.
So
this is camp.
Let's get to
camp level, guys.
Let's absolutely get to it. And so you're going to get the information down and dirty. I don't know if that's the way we can say it. That's how you're getting it.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I love both of them.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next topic?
The next
one
to
discuss?
Finances. So you watched me do this like in real
time.
I mean,
for the fact that I did. I did. And I just have to say that piece, that's real. That's one of the things that I was talking about yesterday is like even going into this year, how can we even be more aware? Because I am one of those. Y'all might be like me. I am a CEO of a New Day collection, and I'm a smart woman. We have a finance team, and I don't gravitate towards finances. So my husband truly does literally everything. And even on Sunday, I said to him, I need to know more. I need to have more clarity. And he's not like he's controlling at all. It's just that he would be a CPA in his next life. So he loves it. But watching you like in real time figure this out, girl, you just went after it.
I did. I went hard. I Enneagram 3.
I
did.
So tell us what because this isn't like finances, like, you know, what is Bitcoin?
No, that's right.
Okay.
This was like, how do you live your life? How do you manage your own, not just financial present, but your financial future? Like, so for me, this came to my doorstep via divorce, an unexpected divorce. So we had the same division of labor. Brandon did everything when I was married, and the financial handoff was not clean. And so it wasn't like, I'm going to sit you down and give you a tutorial on everything that has happened to us financially and where we are. I had to just figure it out myself. When I tell you, look, I sat down with our accountant and I was like, what accounts do we have? That's where I was at. I was like, how much money do I make? He was like, oh my God. I'm like, I wasn't just at ground zero. I was like in the red. And so the stuff that I had to learn here was everything. And I promise you. And listen, maybe you're thinking, oh, I'm happily married and my husband is always going to do the money. that may not be true. Death and disability and disease and divorce is indiscriminate. And even if they do, women should be empowered here. Women should know about their own money.
You should have the knowledge.
You should know where your money is going, what your retirement looks like. You should be legacy planning. You should know where all your bills are. You should know every password. It's all in here. When I tell you, so my really good friend Lindsay Leverton is my guest in that series, and she is a let me look at her bio.
I know Lindsay.
Yeah, you know Lindsay, but like I wanted to get her. She's like a financial planning ninja. She's a wealth management.
That's what she does.
She's a wealth management
for a
strategist.
living.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is her work. She's the director of wealth management at the Mura Group, and that is who I work with. That's the people who sat me down and said, "You can do this. We'll teach you. We'll walk you through it. You're not too far behind, and it's not too late." Because I sat down in their office. I'm bawling my eyes out, as you can imagine. I have papers everywhere. I don't know what's what, and they're like, "You can do this.
Yes.
You are overwhelmed right now. Wait till you see how you're going to feel in 6 months."
Yeah.
And it was.
And I think that even is a lesson in and of itself is to have, if you're able to have that outside, you don't have to even necessarily have money right now in order to get some outside support.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this isn't just for people who have a ton of money to burn. It's just for everyone. It's for anyone who has a bill. Do you have bills? Right. Do you plan to retire one day? Then this is you. So everyone should be empowered here. The financial course is absolutely jammed. In addition to all the videos that you get in the video library of the Me Course series, you get a ton of digital resources that will literally take you by your little hand and walk you through it. So it is a one-stop shop. And you can be as dumb as a sack of diapers about finances, and we'll get you there.
This is why I'm signing up, guys.
We'll get you there. If I can do anyone can do it.
Do it. Okay.
What's funny about this is a bunch of our friends, my mutual friends, have texted me over the last couple weeks and said, "I signed up for the financial Me Course series." My friends. I'm like, okay, you guys.
That's because we watched you and it's convicting. Okay.
And then we have one third
last one,
course, and it's on wellness. Because again, I just had to stare into that curve this year. You actually have always been in my ear about this. You are really good at wellness. You always have been. You have always prioritized your mental wellness, your physical wellness. You have good boundaries. You've been a really, really good leader. For me, I tend to go too hard. So I go too hard. I don't have a stop button. I'm all gas, no brakes. And
your brakes until your Enneagram 9 just breaks you harder than anyone I know.
And then it's a disaster. Then someone has to peel me out of my bed.
Oh my God, you washed your hair in 2 weeks.
You're so right.
Yeah.
And so we brought in a really cool expert that may be new to some of you guys. Her name is Nina B, and this is her space. She's a wellness expert. She's a therapist. She's a mental health educator. She has a passion for wellness and social justice. And so she hits us at our intersections that, mean so much to us. She is, and so we go through a ton of practical stuff in that one too. Habits. What are the little tiny levers that you are or are not pulling every single day to contribute to either your wellness or lack thereof?
I just heard that Gretchen Rubin, you've had Gretchen Rubin on your show.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, she's coming out on my show, and she said that habits are 40% of our day. 40%.
Oh, she knows.
So
too. That's her
if you
research.
don't have the right habits in place, you're not going to be well.
You're not. It's just that simple. I adopted a whole bunch of new habits the last year and a half.
Tell us some of this.
None of them are super monumental. I don't know if you watched me sort of talk about morning me and night me.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. Those were habits that I changed.
No, I literally, actually, I had water. I literally had my water bottle this morning by my bed, and I woke up, and I started drinking my water, and I was like, thank you, Jen Hatmaker.
I did this whole thing where I was like, night me does a handful of things that morning me is so thankful for every time. One of them is put water by the side of my bed. Because at 3 a.m., I'm so proud of night me for giving me water. It's all small. None of it's big. It's not monumental. But
tiny habits.
There were tiny habits that created something big. The sum was greater than its parts. And I felt like all of a sudden, if I could be in control of some of my habits and rhythms, then maybe I could also be in control of my own recovery. Maybe I could also be in control of my own financial health. Maybe I could also be in control of my relationships. It laid a foundation for me
and
to really build on.
That I love about habits. Okay, this is what gets me because I'm an Enneagram 7, so a little bit like to go with the flow a little bit. So once you have a habit, for instance, brushing your teeth is a habit. You spend no energy. You have no decision fatigue when you're brushing your teeth. Yep. Putting on your seatbelt. Like there's so many things in our lives that are so habitual, and it actually, starting a habit takes energy. But then once it's habitual, it's literally there so you don't have to think about it, and it creates more energy for us to go be more creative, go create our future. And that is something that really appeals to me. So, because I know some of us, we are fatigued. And so I think that habits are such a powerful way to actually get us to a place where we can get more energy again.
There Jess should come on as my next
my next podcast series is about habits.
Oh, you're like, it's like fresh under the skin. Oh yeah, this makes sense now. You're like, well, Gretchen Rubin says.
Okay, what else? So habits, and then what about the physical wellness part?
That's in there too. So, for example, one of the things that was new to me, and you and I talked about this a lot too, was I started meditating.
Yeah.
Which is a physical habit. I was so disconnected from my own body, I didn't even know how to get back in it.
Yeah.
And so, learning how to get back into my body and just being really, embodied. Like literally, embodiment was a new concept to me that I worked on the last year. Like worked hard on, and the impact of it is so big. So it's all in there. Everything, these little things that you can reach for that end up building this accumulative effect in your life. And so here's kind of how the structure of it works. And I hope that this makes you excited.
I'm excited.
Because we have distilled it down. I told you it is condensed. It is not, we don't have fluff in here. We're not wasting your time, primarily because you have no time to waste. So, we were like, let's get it down into without a wasted word. And so here's what you can expect per course. There are 4 15-minute sessions. Okay, that's it.
That's the best.
And we dialed it in so tight. One of those sessions includes my expert that I invited to come in, and the other 3 are me working you through what I personally learned. In addition to the video sessions, like I mentioned earlier, we have just an all-star call of digital resources for you. So it'll both work you through the material that I share and then extend it for you. So we're like, okay, are you ready? Let's get started here. And it's absolutely like the tracks have been laid for you. We'll get you there. It's educational, it's actionable, it's practical.
15 minutes is like, that's the time it takes for me to take my kids to school.
Yep, that's right.
So I just love that. I love that I can just turn something on, 15 minutes, learn.
Yeah, that's it.
The next thing.
Right, you can handle this. It's not too much for you. Like, I remember some of the resources that I was reaching for when I was learning, they were so long and they were so dense and they were so overwhelming, especially for me where I feel like I was already coming from behind, that I'm just like, I can't digest this. So this is digestible. All those little bonus bits, we are calling me sources because we're trying to be cute. Me sources.
I love it. I love it.
Why are we like this?
Now, Jen, I wanted to ask, what would you say to the woman who is still having a hard time prioritizing herself? And still seeing this as like, do I deserve this?
Good. Yeah, like the whole premise, like what from the 35,000 that you, why bother? I think we're kind of coming out of this season collectively where we are so depleted. We're still depleted. We're still out here fighting the good fight and sort of trying to get through this last season of pandemic and upheaval and turmoil. And so I know you and I both had to do this. We had to become homeschoolers and we had to pivot our businesses and there was just the output was so high. I just think a lot of us aren't empty. And so what are we expected to do if we have 0 gas in the tank? What can we do next? We're out of gas. And so to me, this is us saying, I need to refill here. I need to refuel so that I am like ready for this next phase, ready for this next season. And again, like to my earlier point even, should something befall you, God forbid, a tragedy or a crisis or something unexpected, which is life, by the way, it's life. I just want you to be better prepared than I was. I want you to be ready, like, okay, this is terrible, but at least I know what to do.
Well, it's so empowering.
Yeah.
It's so empowering.
Cool. There we go. One last thing before we go. I do just want to say, too, the personal effect of making this sort of investment in yourself, in your wellness, in your health, in your mental and physical clutter, in your competency, in your ability to steer your own ship is so high.
Oh my gosh.
It is so high. Like the way I feel standing here today versus how I felt even 1 year ago, I can't even quantify it. It's like a different person.
Yeah.
So empowered, so confident. Like just, I feel like, okay, I can handle this. I can handle life. I can handle my own story. I can handle my work. I can continue to be creative and make things that are beautiful and meaningful. And so let me tell you what to expect in terms of like, how much does this cost? I have my notes here because I'm going to get it wrong. So first of all, you go to mecourse.org. mecourse.org. So we have a special deal for you until the 15th of January, which is 5 days from now. So until January 15th, you can register for the absolute lowest price. So it's $49 per course, and you get all the bonus stuff too, all the me sources. Or you can get all 3 me courses for $99. So it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
That's till January 15th, where all 3 courses are for the full price of one. Pretty good.
Honestly, we have registered some of our team members for those master classes out there, and this is an incredible price. I'm just hearing the price for the first time.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm like, well, that's a deal.
It is. It's a deal. It's a bargain. And
not only, I want to say it's a deal, but this is hard-earned wisdom. And honestly, this is your first time. I mean, you have your podcast that you've been sharing, but this is truly your first time after going through just really tragic last time to give us that wisdom. And so this is getting Jen fresh.
It's true. This is its first iteration of like, how can I use this?
This will be a book, of course.
How can I give this to my community? Probably.
Yeah. It's gonna be so good.
Probably. It's all in there, and I think you're gonna love it. I think it's gonna be useful to you. I think you're gonna feel empowered and equipped and ready and able to sort of move forward in whichever area you want. 1, 2, or all 3. We're here for you, and the Me Course Library will grow. Supposing I keep learning. I sure hope I do.
That never stops.
Yeah, that never stops.
Oh, it's mecourse.org.
Yep.
mecourse.org. You'll find out all the information there.
Yep.
Go sign up, and
that's it, girl.
It's gonna be fun.
I love you.
I love you.
Thank you for always just showing up for me like you do. Jess and I basically we just trade this for each other. Like,
she's coming to our Noonday Collection conference in a couple of weeks. So.
Yeah, I think I've only missed one since its inception.
Only one. We're both in Austin. It works out.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, you guys, we're excited to put these in your hands. Okay, happy Monday. Have a great week. You too.
So fun.
Okay.
Yeah, see ya.